I'm not playing anymore. Get your tinfoil hat on. It's time to go. The Messiah has returned once again. Bow to me as your content queen. Or as a lot of the comments would say, Dad. Weirdos. So the other day, or by this point the other week, I wrote in the community tab what you wanted to see as the next video. And the options were either conspiracy theories, sovereign citizen bullshit, or you could have left me your own spicy idea. Originally suggested by this fella, huge shouts out to him. We're doing conspiracy theory today, and the sovereign citizen video will also be crafted. It's December, it's the month of Christ, you will be blessed with many videos. And by many I mean like 3. With that said, you better have your tinfoil hat on because we're about to talk about how Bush did 9/11. 9/11 conspiracies, where to start? Well, the basis of all 9/11 conspiracies start at believing the US government was responsible for 9/11, either so that they could invade Afghanistan for oil, or so they could spy on Americans and just kind of stick the NSA right in there without anyone thinking twice about it. Just for security. The thing about 9/11 conspiracies though, theories sound kind of far-fetched, but when you start to think about it and the details start to fall in place, it really does start to make sense. You can be like, yeah, Jimmy, the government's reptiles, whatever. Yeah, chemtrails, whatever. You were dropped on your head as a baby. But when you start looking at the 9/11 stuff, you can't help but feel like Bush has been playing possum on us. I'm not gonna say whether I personally believe in any of the conspiracies in this video because I don't want your opinion to be subconsciously swayed by me saying I think they're true or I think they're false. So I'm just gonna give you the details and you're gonna decide. And then you're gonna let me know in the comments because you're a good person. Without further ado, the 9/11 conspiracy. I guess a good place to start would be the infamous Building 7 that collapsed 6 hours after the other 2 by way of fire. Let's take a look. Fire caused that? Really? Just for comparison, this is what a building collapsing from fire looks like. Okay, and just for shits and gigs, this is what a controlled demolition looks like. That's what a controlled demolition looks like. That building collapsed like it was just sentenced to 3 years. Let's see Building 7 one more time. So it's totally not impossible that that was from fire, but for that building to have fallen like that from fire, all of its vertical supports would have had to caught fire at the same time and burn for the same amount of time and all give out at the same time, otherwise it would have went sideways or it wouldn't have fallen straight down. And that's not even conspiracy, that's just physics. Try this, stand up, both feet on the ground, lean to your right, lift your right foot up. You fall to the right, obviously. Lean to your left, pick your left foot up, you fall to the left, obviously. Pick both feet up, and you fall straight down. Also worth mentioning, this is the Windsor Hotel in Spain. Very similar in structure to Building 7. It burned for 23 hours straight, and this was the extent of the damage. Not even close to a complete structural failure. Also, BBC, the news station, not the other thing, reported live that Building 7 collapsed 20 minutes before it did, with the building in the background.
Lines are not working properly, and we know that down there near the World Trade Center there are 3 schools that are being turned into triage centers for emergency treatment, and I know that over in New York Harbor, where the famous Statue of Liberty is.
What if that was their strategy though? Just report things that haven't happened and just hope it does? Breaking news. Police have confirmed there is an active shooter on the grounds of the local elementary school today. Okay, I tried with this shit. It's making me itch. I can't. Okay, the gag is over. It's over. There's just too much that either doesn't make sense or is just incredibly convenient about the official story. Larry Silverstein shelling out $14 million of his personal money to be the leaseholder of the buildings months before it happened, then getting paid $4.55 billion on the terrorism insurance policy he fortuitously took out on them. The Pentagon being the most surveilled government building in America, yet having no video evidence of a plane hitting it. The Building 7 collapse, of course. George Bush lying, saying he's seen the first plane hit on TV, despite there only being one video of the first plane hitting in existence. The debris from the buildings being taken away and destroyed so fast, despite it being a major crime scene. The fact that $62 million was spent on investigating Bill Clinton getting some head, but only $15 million was spent investigating the worst attack in American history, also after the Bush administration delayed it over a year. Countless eyewitnesses saying they seen/heard explosions in the lobby prior to the collapse. There's legit 9 more points I have written down, I counted. But if I keep going, that's all the video's gonna be. Jet steel can't melt fuel beams. The next one is kind of different. It's a conspiracy, it's just not a theory, it's a documented fact. But it kind of lends believability that the US government would kill its own people for their own agenda, making that last 9/11 one much more believable, as if you needed any more reason to believe it. Operation Northwoods. Operation Northwoods was a false flag mission proposed to the Kennedy administration in 1962 that was birthed through the Pussy of Freedom and the US Department of Justice and the Joint Chiefs of Staff. And basically, what it proposed was the CIA bomb the f out of your grandparents and then blame it on Cuba and go to war. Just a regular Tuesday in America. This was signed off by Lyman Lemnitzer. And that's why his mom was a hoe.
Your mom's a hoe.
So this jackass signed off on it. Then John Kennedy said, "F out of here with that." And then dabbed on his ass. Presidentially. I don't know if that's as crazy to you as it is to me, that the fact that the government literally planned to kill their own citizens and military and blame it on another country for their own agenda, that's fucking insane to me. And that was decades ago, so the people who think the government wouldn't do it in more modern times where there's even more at stake are just not seeing things. I'm not saying they're doing it, yes I am, but they could be. That one wasn't really a theory, so it wasn't as fun because you didn't have to think about it, so I got another juicy one for you right here. Not Area 52, not Area 50, Area 51. Area 51 is, according to the official story, an Air Force testing and training ground in the middle of nowhere in Nevada. No cameras, no civilians, no visiting hours, no refreshments in the lobby. What the fuck? So a funny thing about Area 51 is, Area 51 was referenced in documents back in Vietnam War times, but the CIA publicly recognized the base's existence only for the first time in July 2013. That's either some serious lag on their computers, or there might be some fishy stuff going on. I mean, when something is kept so under lock and key like that, you can only expect people to come up with some wild shit. Because I mean, why else would it be so secret? Of course, the most popular theory about Area 51 is that it's so secretive because it's home to UFOs or aliens that the government doesn't want the public to know about. The Roswell incident in 1947 was probably the first thing to give credibility or to even birth this chain of theories in the first place. So in 1947, an unknown object crashed into a ranch near Roswell, New Mexico. William Brazel noticed debris spread out in a field and described what he's seen as a flying disc. Later on, the material taken and tested by the military was described as something unlike anything else on Earth. The material was indestructible, and despite how much it was messed with, it would always take its shape back. I don't know about you, but to me, that sounds like some serious alien shit. Unfortunately for this story, it came out in the 90s that the government constructed a nuclear test surveillance device that was unknown to even most high-ranking military officials at the time, and that's what was found in the field, not a UFO. But despite all that, boy, them theories still run rampant. Another proposed theory is that Area 51 is home to teleportation development and testing. The first thing that comes to mind when I think about the government developing teleportation is how much of an advantage it would give them in war. And if that's the case, it's no wonder why it's a secret. Some theories believe that weapons from aliens or crashed UFOs were reverse engineered, and that's where the initial technology for teleportation comes from. There is a bunch of other Area 51 theories that range from an underground tunnel system to a group of 12 people that are responsible for finding out anything pertaining to UFOs and aliens. I want so badly to believe that we have some little humanoid aliens chilling, right? But you gotta think, what's more logical? A life form finding its way to Earth and the government getting to it before literally anyone knew and keeping it secret, or the government just testing some futuristic shit that would let them kill more innocent civilians in a Middle Eastern country with more ease. That said though, maybe that's why Area 51 is so secretive. Because they have caught aliens or UFOs or both, and they've done such a good job at concealing that it almost seems illogical to think that they're capable of hiding such a huge thing, when in reality, they're just that good at it. Bro, we got aliens. I don't ask for comments on every video, but I'm gonna ask for them on this one because I'm genuinely curious in what people think. Let your thoughts be heard. I'll listen to what you have to say, unlike your parents. I really do read all the comments, so if you're nice to me, maybe I'll give you a little heart on your comment. Maybe shoot you a reply, maybe a specimen sample, who knows. If this video goes over well, maybe this will turn into a reoccurring series. I don't have any of those, so I could do with filling up a spot, we'll see. Also, you should subscribe and Bill Cosby that like button. It's seriously the least you can do for such a blessing being bestowed upon you in these holy times. You're welcome. Mass is concluded.